Hey guys, this is Mr. Grice for Algebra 1, Chapter 7.1 Notes. Today we're talking about solving linear systems by graphing. Our learning target today is to be able to check whether an ordered pair is a solution to a linear system. That sounds kind of familiar, doesn't it? And to be able to solve linear systems by graphing. So, the first things you need to know are what a linear system is and the solution to a linear system. If you need to pause the video to write them down real fast, go ahead and do so. Now, a linear system is a set of two linear equations. And a solution to that is the point where two lines intersect. And when you substitute that in, it works into both equations. And that's what we're going to start with first. Okay? So, is 5, -7 a solution to the following system? So, you know what your x is, you know what your y is. If you're finding if it's a solution, you plug it in, okay? So, y is -7 equals -5 minus 2. And that changes to -7, and -5 minus 2 is -7. So, yay! Okay, but it's got to work into both. So, we're going to plug in -7 again, and then 1/5 times 5 minus 8. -7 equals 1/5 times 5 is 1, and 1 minus 8 is -7. So does that work? Yes, it does. Okay, so if it works into both equations, then it is a solution. Okay, so our final answer for this is yes. Okay, so now we got another one. X and y. Okay, so x, or the y is -1 equals -1/2 times -2 minus 2. So -1 equals -1/2 times -2 is 1. 1 minus 2 is -1. So we're good there. Now let's look at the next one. So -3 plus y equals 7. X is -2 and y is -1. So we get 6 plus -1 equals 7, and then we get 5 equals 7, and no. Okay, so it can't just work in one, it's got to work in both of them. Okay, now let's move on to the next part. It says when two lines are graphed, there are 3 possible outcomes. Okay, so there's a line, and there's a line. Okay, they intersect, and this has one solution. There's only one point where those two lines intersect. Okay, the next one is when the lines don't intersect. And those two lines, you would say that these lines are parallel. Okay, so this system has no solution. And the other one that it could be, say you've got a line, but then on top of that line is another one. Okay, and that system has infinite solutions. Okay, there's no end to how many answers that could have. Okay, now let's move on to the graphing. Oh, and this didn't come out for me. Hold on just a second. Okay, and we're back. So let's take a look at this. One of the things that you need to do right now is you need to make sure that you have a pencil, okay? Because if you do this with a pen and you make a mistake, you can't have all those squiggly marks in here because that's just going to mess it up, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to start graphing and find the point of intersection, okay? So when we do this, we need to know what the slope is. And the slope is 2 over 1, and that is rise over run. So we know that that's rising, and our y-intercept is -1. So at -1, I'm going to start my graph. So there's -1, and then I'm going up 2 over 1. Okay, and do a couple of points in each direction, and then get a straight edge, and draw your line. Now, we're going to do the same thing for the other line, okay? Our slope is -1 over 1. That graph is fall over run, and we start at 0, 5, okay? So starting at 0, 5, and then you're going to make your graph. You can do some lines in each direction, but it's important that you're using a straight edge here so you can tell exactly where they intersect, okay? Now, by looking at this graph right here, it has a solution, okay? And that solution, so where it's at, is we have to figure out. It's going to be +2, +3. And that's all we're really doing, okay? Is being very careful when we graph, and then finding where they intersect. So, on the next one, we have the point -2, 3. That's our slope, which is fall over run. And then our y-intercept is 0, 4. So at +4, and then we go down 2 over 3, down 2 over 3. And I'm going to do some points in each direction. Everything is ready. I've got my straight edge. Let's draw that line. Okay, next one, our slope is 1/3, which is rise over run. And we start at 0, 1. So there's my starting point. I go up 1, over 3, up, found it. Pretty much as soon as you found it, the intersection, just make sure you have enough lines or enough points to make the line, and then you can go ahead and draw it. We know right here, that's our solution, and the solution to that is 3, 2. Okay? Now, check to see if the problem we just did, okay? So the problem we just did back there, is that really the solution? Okay? We said that the point was 3, 2. So let's find out. Now, we know that the y is 2 equals -2/3 times x is 3 plus 4. -2 times 3 is -2 plus 4. Well, that gives us 2. So good. We got it. But let's double check to make sure the other one works too. So x is 2, or the y is 2, I mean, equals 1/3 x is 3 plus 1. So 2 equals, when you do that in your calculator, you get 1. And then does 2 equal 2? Yep. So this is our solution. You were correct. And that's the nice thing about this is you can do this on your test to make sure that you're doing it correctly and if you got the right answer. All right, let's do some more practice problems. Looking at number 3. Go ahead and pause the video and write down what the slopes are, what the y-intercepts are, and then we'll go into graphing it as soon as you're done. Okay, so the first equation we get 3 over 1, which is rise over run, and we're starting at -2. And then the other one is -1 over 1, fall over run, starting at 0, 2. Okay, let me just double check those really fast on the PDF copy to make sure all my signs are correct. And they are. So, all right, starting at -2, you go up 3 over 1. 1, 2, 3 over 1. And you want to do just a couple in each direction. And then go ahead and draw the line. Same with the next one. We start at 2, down 1. Oh, look at that. We found it right away. Okay. So once you've got that, you're going to need another line. So get your straight edge. Make it look nice and pretty. That's where the solution is. And that's at 1, 1. Okay. Now, number 4, you guys are all on your own. Pause the video, and when you restart it again, everything will be complete. Okay, so this is what you should have gotten when you graphed the two. Now, these are parallel lines, so there's actually no solution to this. And you guys might have been tipped off right away because look at their slopes. Slopes are the same, guys. When slopes are the same, you should know that your lines are parallel. All right, 2 more. Now, here's the tough part. I want to know what the slope and the y-intercepts of these guys are, but it's not in y equals mx plus b. So we need to go through and solve by subtracting the x to both sides. And y equals -x minus 2, which tells us our slope is -1 over 1, which is fall over run, and our y-intercept is 0, -2. Okay? So then we need to come over here and graph, starting at 0, -2. And we're going to do a couple of points in each direction. And then graph the line. So using your straight edge, there you go. Okay, but we've got 2 problems to do. Because now we have to do 2x minus 3y equals -9. Subtract the 2x to both sides. -3y equals -2x minus 9. Remember that that's a -3. And y equals 2 over 3x plus 9. Oh, not plus 9. Plus 3. Okay? So our slope is 2 over 3, which is rise over run. And our starting point is 0, 3. So at 0, 3, I'm going to start. And now my first point is positive 2 over 3. And if I keep going to the right, am I going to find a point? No. Okay. So that's when we need to start going backwards. And once you start going backwards, you see a point right away. Okay. And we we find out that this point has a solution, and that solution is at -3, 1. Okay? All right, number 6. Do you guys think you can handle it? Now, I'll help start you off. Both of these need to be put into sloped intercept form. Okay? So, go ahead and solve those two. Find your slope, find your y-intercept, and graph the lines. Okay? Pause the video, and good luck. Up, and before you do anything else, I just made sure my copy didn't come out right, that's a positive y. All right, good luck. Okay, so I worked everything out, and there we go. I'm going to start by graphing the blue line first, which I started at 0, 4, and you go up 2 over 1. So I'm going to do a couple points in each direction, and then I'm going to graph it. Now, let's go ahead and do the next one. But, oh, wait, it's the same thing. It's the same points, isn't it? And you've got the same line. Okay, this is when your answer is infinite solutions. Okay, because no matter what point you pick, it's both the same exact line. And you can tell that from the very beginning because it's got the same slope and it's got the same y-intercept. Okay, if both of those are the same, it's going to be the same line. Okay, well, that is it for Algebra 1, Chapter 7.1 Notes. If you have any questions, please come see Ms. Carranza or myself. We would love to help you out. Thanks for watching, guys.